clear how to ask my question. So basically, where my confusion is that, using the whole stream metaphor, is that if you want to find God and be in that bliss, and that's downstream, but if you are here focusing on things you want in this physical world and creating this physical world, then that's really, you can't have both. That's the confusion that I hear. It gets me confused.
Well, there are many people, and we understand that's part of that different people telling you different things situation that we were describing earlier. There are those who say that you cannot be spiritual and material at the same time, and that if you're looking for God, who is spiritual, then you must look for spiritual things. And we want to soothe that confusion by saying to you that you are source energy in a physical body. And if you were not, in other words, that's like saying that that which is God wants nothing to do with that which is physical. Why would you come into an environment where food is necessary to you, and housing is necessary to you, and clothing is necessary to you, and situations to keep you from freezing or from the sun? Why would you come into a world where the material is such an important part of your life experience if it would separate you just in the existence of that from that which is God? And we want you to understand that you did not come into any sort of separation, that it is not, when you reach for something that is wanted and that is material, that is not a separation from that which God is. We've been talking all morning about how when your life in this very physical material world causes you to desire something, and isn't it logical that you would be perceiving things through your physical format, and that what you would want would be not only about states of being but about material things, that source becomes one with them and calls you to them. It isn't that a material thing is right or wrong. It is that you can approach it in alignment with source, or you can approach it not in alignment with source. And so the reason that we speak as we do, in fact, the reason that we have framed this workshop in the way that we have, in fact, the reason that we exist at all in this format where Esther is allowing us words, the reason that all of this exists is to help those like you to discover that you are source energy in physical bodies, and that if you will listen for the call of source, source is within everything that you want. You cannot separate that which you call God from that which is the makings of this physical world, because the God that you want to please and the God that you are reaching to feel is the physical embodiment of all those things also. In other words, that God that you're talking about has extended into this physical realm. And when you separate yourself from this physical realm, you equally separate yourself from that which is God, because this is where you and that God that you seek are. Our friend earlier said it's about perception, and we say it really is, as Esther's parents have, Jerry's too, but Esther has been chatting with her own parents, have made their transition into non-physical. As they are interacting with her, they are describing their non-physical position in very physical terms. In other words, they are translating their life as they are living it now in the non-physical realm through physical terms, because the physical is the leading edge of all of this, you see. Mm-hmm. So now what? Just another...
The other belief that's like getting me confused, where I'm looking this way and this way, is like the idea where it says anything that's like in the physical world is the ego that's just trying to hold you there, and that God isn't really part of this world, that it's just us, like that we've put our focus over here, and we've created this whole experience over here which isn't really God.
Then why would God put you here in this bind?
He didn't, ego did.
Well, how did you get here? You didn't have an ego when you came.
Well, and that's the whole thing about this is all illusion, and so it's like the whole holodeck experience. It's just an illusion from this, like it's like a dream that we're here, just like a bad dream we're here, and
Well, you're speaking a lot of different perspectives from a lot of different people, but we say to you, as we feel the chaos that you feel, this approach is not working very well for you.
Exactly. That's why I'm asking Ralph.
And we understand that a lot of people have a lot of different information that they are trying. Let's start at the very basis of this. So there are people who try to live their life today by reading words that were buried thousands of years ago somehow, that were given to people who were living in a different time, under different conditions. And now you, in your modern time, in your leading edge time, try to make sense of what those words were, even though they're not talking about the life experience that you are currently living. Further, those words, no matter what religion they are the basis of, have been reinterpreted through the framework of evolving civilizations until you have no way of knowing what was actually said or experienced by any of them anyway. So then you say, which of this highly questionable material should I use to guide my life? Most of you say, I think I'll do that which my parents did so that they will still like me. Some of you say, no, I will search through all of it. I will go to every church, I will study every philosophy, and I will try to make sense of all of it. In fact, I will become a scholar in all of this. And then you sit in a chair and you say, but this one said this, and this one said this, and this one said this. And we say, it's a point that we were making this morning, just talking about Esther with 2 navigational systems who each wanted her to go a different way. Mm-hmm. And what we want you to understand is that you and everybody else has within you guidance that is specifically telling you, given who you are, who you were before you were born, what you've lived, what you now want, and where you are, exactly how to go. And if you will tune yourself to that guidance, you will not be confused. But if you say, and as you are attempting to say here, I need to sort it all out, we say, you never will be able to. As you say, I need to hear it all and make sense of all of it, we say, that's like taking every vehicle that exists, taking them all apart and trying to put one vehicle that runs together. And we say, you might get a piece here and a piece here, and you might get something that runs, but it is really going about it the hard way. Mm-hmm. So we know, we can feel, not just yours, you are a good representative of what a lot of people are feeling. Humans say, Abraham, I want to be good. I innately sense that I am. I just don't know exactly the way to go. And if I could just find one voice that I could trust to tell me what's right and what's wrong, I promise I would follow it, I would do it, and I would become the righteous one that I was born to be. And we say, it's not a voice outside of you. It's the voice that is within you. It is the sound of the vibrational variance between what you're thinking here and what your source is vibrating as it calls you. So now you talk about the confusion over this ego, as if your personal personality and perspective in this time-space reality is flawed or faulty or should not be. And we say, you have come forth into this physical body to explore so that this focused you could come to conclusions about what you want. And it is so not flawed. In fact, it is so important to source energy that when you in your ego find something that from your perspective you would like to experience, source is so sure that no one would know better for you than you, that source immediately says yes to what you're asking for and becomes the vibrational embodiment or non-embodiment of that and calls you toward it. In other words, you're not creating the world for all to live, you're creating your world. And we promise you, you can tell by the way you feel whether you are on your path or not. Be rude to someone and feel the separation between you and you. Be loving to someone and feel the alignment between you and you. Be hateful and feel the separation. Be loving and feel the separation. Point out your own flaws and feel the separation, or look for your positive aspects and feel your alignment. Find fault with someone else and feel your separation, or look for the value in them and feel your alignment. Show yourself by trial and error what thoughts you think line you up with that which is source and what thoughts rip you apart. And discover day by day, all day, every day, which are the downstream, going with the flow, coming into alignment with source thoughts and feelings, and which ones are going in opposition. Hate yourself and feel how source never goes there. Love yourself and feel source wrapping around you. Look for the way you feel. Pay attention to the way you feel. And there will never be confusion again. There are so many people in the name of God and in the name of religion doing the most awful things to one another on your planet today. Do you know there is more hate wrapped around religion than all other things put together? And the reason for it is because people are so sure that they must control the conditions, and when they can't control conditions, it makes them crazy. It makes them more separated from who they are. And when you discover, as Jesus said, as Buddha said, as Mohammed said, as so many of them have said, as all of the masters have said, as everyone who is at the root of every religion has said, that kingdom of heaven is within you, and you will feel the vibrational alignment of it or not, you see. We're not saying to you that you can trust no one outside of you, but we are saying you will hear the rhythm of their vibration, and you will know by your own guidance the truth of the words that they speak in terms of what you say. And when someone says to you, in the name of God, I demand that you kill these people because they are not doing what we need them to do, we promise you, you are not hearing the voice of God. You are hearing the voice of some disconnected being who in his feeling of powerlessness is still seeking to control conditions so that he will feel better, but God is nowhere around in any of that message, you see. And so when you realize that that which you are looking for has always been right there. Source energy never takes its gaze from you. Source never stops knowing where you are in relationship to where you want to be. But Source puts its undivided attention upon the evolved you, the expanded you, the eternally growing, becoming you. And you've got to turn your attention to the same place, or you feel the separation. It's not an easy thing to be surrounded by a whole lot of voices that are saying different things. And yet, we see you at the smorgasbord where there is a variety of food to choose from, and we don't see any of you having an emotional meltdown there. You just look among it and you find that which resonates with you, you see. And so we're just encouraging you to try to trust more the feeling that comes forth from within you. Because when you say, I don't know the way, then anything that you choose, even though it might be the way for you, isn't the way for now because you're so sure it's not the way. When you begin saying things like, well, maybe there's more than one way. When you begin saying things like, I don't think the path to God is a straight and narrow path. I think that God is resilient and loving and flexible and all-knowing and all-loving always. When you realize that that which you are reaching for is an energy that is loving to the very core, not hateful, you'll start looking in a different place. God, or that which you call God, we only use the word when you do, is not something to be feared, but something to be felt as love. When you are in vibrational alignment with that which is source, you know it, you feel it. And when you're not, you know that too. So leave everyone else to do whatever it is they are doing. And don't misunderstand us. There are many, many people amidst your planet, among you right now, who are finding alignment with Source through the religion of their choice. We are not saying that God is not there. We're just saying that you do not need to be involved in some religion with some label in order to be in perfect alignment with that which is Source. And the problem with so many of those religions are that they want you to believe that there is only one way and it is their way. And they push so hard against the other ways that they defy themselves from the very God that they preach about.